The views and opinions expressed during this program are entirely those of the show's hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of Rude Rangers Entertainment, its investors, management, advertisers, or staff. Don't sue us, y'all. We don't have any money.
Hey, love bugs. It's Yvonne, the Motivator Man, and welcome to Dear Daughter. I'm so excited today. I am so excited to speak to all of you. I know what you're saying, girl. Where you get them glasses from? Don't you want to know? Well, I order my glasses from wearlight.com. That's WhereLight.com. And I just couldn't let these guys get away. You know, there's so much personality in them. So I just got them and I feel oh so groovy, yeah, when I'm wearing them. And my lips, yes, my lips are, let me see. It is Matte Confident, and I believe that's from Opal. So, you know, underneath those masks were COVID ugly. You've heard me say that. I don't like that anymore. So now I get to wear a matte that doesn't come off. So when I take my mask off, my lips look wonderful. All right, without further ado, let's start talking today, love bugs. And I want to talk to you about the butterfly effect. You know how all of you take your picture like, well, I want you to really know what a butterfly is, and it can really give you some insight to what you're going through right now. And a butterfly, of course, starts like you from an egg. But, you know, there's no sperm that attaches and then the human comes, but it's an egg. And that egg is usually on a leaf or something, and it sits there until what's inside is ready to come out. Almost like you in your mom's belly for, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not 9 months. It's actually 10 months because a full pregnancy is 40 weeks. Imagine all this time you've been hearing the wrong thing. But like you in your mom's belly, that egg that was fertilized by the sperm, and you're sitting in your mom's belly and you're getting all the nourishment from your mom, and mom is just waiting for you to get here so she can hug you and kiss you and name you and say, oh, you look like your father, your grandmother, and all of that. And then, of course, you know, there's that big fanfare of the baby shower. You know, unfortunately, the butterfly doesn't get all of that, but it's an egg and it's waiting for what's inside to come out. And what comes out is usually very ugly. You know, you've seen a caterpillar. It is not the prettiest thing. So the second stage is that caterpillar, and that is called the larvae. Now, we may say it's ugly, but it's very, very important to the butterfly. At this point, you know, the caterpillar, when you see the caterpillar, they're always munching. They're in the tree, just chewing every leaf. If you ever had a garden, you know, the thing you hate to have in the garden is a caterpillar because it's eating. Well, as you're growing, that's what you're doing. And not eating natural food, you're gaining knowledge. So your brain is eating. It's taking in knowledge. And if it's not love bugs today, please let your brain start eating. You are to learn something different every day. That's right. Every day in this world, you should be saying, wow, I didn't know that. And if you're not doing that, put yourself in a position for that to happen to you. So this larvae is now chewing. It's not in its prettiest form. So right now in your life, is it a possibility you're not in your prettiest form? You may be depressed. Things may not be going well. You know, you may have gained some COVID weight and you think that you're not at your best. You know, the school you wanted to get into, you know, you applied for, said no. You know, the relationship that you thought would last forever. Okay, here's a secret. News flash. If you're a young one, you're going to have another time to love again. So wipe your tears, unbreak your heart, put your shoulders back, do your hair, honey, put your lipstick on. You're going to fall in love again. But this time of your life may not be one of the best times of your life. Well, guess what? You're a larvae. You're a larvae. And instead of sitting back saying, why me? Or how could this happen to me? Or I'm so depressed, or just being very mean and evil to everybody that comes into, your hemisphere because your life isn't what you want it to be. Maybe you should start eating. Maybe you should start learning about the life that you have right now. What's going on? Learn about a broken heart. Why should you learn about a broken heart? Because you're going to have some girlfriends, some cousins, even your sisters or brothers that's going to have a broken heart. And maybe you'll be able to help them through this process. Remember, a heart is a muscle. It doesn't break, it beats. And it's your emotions that get broken. So take that along the way with you. That's a free one. Next one going to cost you $15.99. Okay, everything ain't free, love bugs. Everything ain't free. Okay, you've gained some weight during COVID. Look at that. And you say, I want to lose the weight. Well, you know what? Learn the process of how losing weight for you works. And then you'll be able to share that with someone else. You didn't get into the college that you want. So the college that's accepting you. What do they have to offer that is going to give you what you want for at least 2 years? And then you can transfer once your grades come up to the college you really want. Yeah, that's the reason why you don't fall out and be all upset because the college you want didn't accept you, because it didn't accept you now, but it will accept you later. Bring those grades up, show you're a good student and you're disciplined, and they'll say, oh, yes, in about 2 years. Everything that's happening to you now is for your growth. It is time for you to eat, for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to look at what's happening at your life, because the next 2 stages, you're not going to get that. And you want to get all you can right now. Listen, if you're going to fail, fail fast. Fail right now in this position where you are. Fail now. So when you're where you want to be and failure looks like it's coming to you, you know how to deal with it. Fail now. It's okay. We all fail. Learn from your failures. And those of you who are chronically depressed all the time, sad over everything, come on, sing hallelujah, get happy. There is depression that you need medication for, and I'm not making light of that. I totally understand that. But I also understand that you have a choice in your thoughts, and you can choose bad thoughts or you can choose good thoughts. And you can choose thoughts that elevate your day, or you can choose thoughts that decrease your day. And in this period of the larvae, of the ugly caterpillar, that's what you're learning. Your thoughts and your words, that's going to take you through the next 2 stages. So you see, I didn't spend much time on that egg, but it's this part where you're eating, the quote unquote ugly stage, the part of your life that just doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It's not doing good. And we all go through it. Some of us may call it our valley of our lives. Some of us may call it the dim shade of our life. Whatever you call it, it is not your best time ever. And this too will pass. Trust me, this time is going to pass, but how you get through it is very important to the next 2 stages of your butterfly life. Now, this depression thing. If you have been diagnosed clinically depressed, please, I need you to take your medicine. I have worked in the mental health field for many, many years. And that time when you feel really good and you're on top of everything and everything is clicking, you're like, I don't need my medication. No, the reason why you're at a point where things are really good is because the medication in your body has now normalized all of the stuff that's going on. So your highs and your lows have all come together now. This is not time for you to not take your medicine. Those of you that aren't diagnosed as clinically depressed, and you just got some very bad thinking patterns, I want you to learn how to change that. This is your time to eat. This is your time to learn. How do you learn how to turn your thoughts and your words? Well, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I'm so ugly, look in the mirror and say, you know what? This is the face that I have and I love it. And it may be hard, but if you keep doing it, it becomes easy. This is the body I have right now. I want to work on it. But right now, this is what it is. And I'm going to love it. Okay. The job I have right now, it's not the job that I want. It's not satisfying me. But right now, this is the job that I have. And I'm going to give the best to it. It's an ugly stage. It's not a happy stage sometimes, and it's not always a feel-good stage, but it's a stage where you can learn. You're at your job. You can't stand your job, but there is a position in there, if it's not the one you already have, that can teach you something that you can take along the way. Learn that position. And I'm going to tell you, you never know what's going to happen to people. You may be learning another position and that person may go out on leave or abruptly leave the job. And guess now who has to do it? You. Why? Because you were the one that took the time to learn the position in your ugly stage. Ugly does not mean what you look like. Ugly is the situation you're in. It's not satisfying. It's not doing anything for you except giving you the ability to eat. COVID is an ugly situation. The whole world, ladies, went down. Not just New York, not just Long Island, not just the United States, the entire globe. That's sign language for complete. The entire globe shut down all at once. If that wasn't the ugliest place to be, but those of us who did not let the shutdown shut us down, and we said, listen here, I may be stuck in the house, bored in the house, but I'm going to do something so when we go out to play, I'll have something else under my belt. So some of us wrote books. Some of us learned another language. Some of us learned to cook a different way. Some of us got more TV shows. Well, got a TV show and had developed more shows. There was so many things that we could do in the ugly stage of the COVID lockdown, besides complain. Many people that I heard complain are in the same situation they were in this time last year when the whole world shut down. And if that's okay for them, that's okay for me. But I know that you can't hit a moving target. And if you just sit and complain in your stage that's not so pretty, you're never going to grow. You're never going to grow. So if you want to expand, if you want to do more in your life, I encourage you in this ugly stage, start chewing. Start chewing. Learn a new language. Write a book. Read some books. A friend of mine, he promised himself that as long as we were in the pandemic, he would read a book a month. A book a month. He has read 12 books, working on his 13th. Can you imagine how much knowledge he learned over that time? I applauded him that he decided to read those books because he was eating in his time of ugly. So my butterflies, I'm going to break, but please flutter back because we have 2 more stages and some homework. That's right, girl. Some homework to get to. So you come on back.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
one, the only Magnifico the Magnificent. He will do the super back and forth, up and down triple somersault. The only such somersault done anywhere, by anyone in any place in the world. And there he goes. He made it. What a man! Say, but there's Joe the Schmo. He doesn't look very happy about the whole thing. He's going to try the super somersault, too. And better be careful, Joe. And there he goes, and Joe says no. But why, Joe? Joe says no again. Oh, Joe, you schmo. Don't be a schmo, Joe. Be in the know, Joe. Religion and race just don't count in this place. So be in the know, Joe, wherever you go, Joe. Remember that, Joe, you won't fall on your face.
Hi, I'm David Axterby of Long Island Telecom. We are your cellular superstar. We have the best in no-contract cellular on every carrier in the United States. We also do portable MiFi units, home phone service. We could beat your cable company at their own game by providing you very inexpensive TV, and we are a Sirius XM dealer as well. We can create a website for you, give you a special corporate email, and we do credit card processing. 631-833-9679.
Welcome back, my love bugs and my butterflies. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the butterfly effect. And I was discussing the egg and the larvae. And the egg, of course, is the conception. And the larvae is the ugly stage, which is the ugly stage of life. And now we're going to move on to what's called the pupa or the chrysalis. Chrysalis sounds so much better, doesn't it? And that is when the caterpillar is now in the cocoon. And the cocoon, do you know, is silk woven? Where did the silk come from? I don't know. I didn't get a chance to go that in depth, but if you want me to, I can. I really will for you because I want to know. But this cocoon absolutely encapsulates the caterpillar. So now the caterpillar's been doing all this eating. So you've been doing all this learning. And now you are encapsulated in safety. It's almost like you get a period to rest, but you're growing while you're resting. For those of us that have children, I know my daughter is, she won't tell you, but she's got to be 5'11". She says 5'10". She's been 5'10" since she was like 16. So she's got to be 5'11". And with heels on, she's like about 6'2". Amazon. And I'm only 5'3". How'd that happen? But, you know, here it is. You're growing. You're like just all in graft and in insulated in everything that you have been eating. And it's all feeding you. Now, you were eating before. So all of that stuff that you were eating before, now you're hugged up in and it's feeding you. Can you imagine? So you wanted to learn a new language. So you learned, let's say French, you know, because that's money language, sounds very sexy. So you learned French while we were in the shutdown. And now that French is feeding you because now you're thinking about all the places you're going that you'll be able to speak French. And France is only one place. Half of the countries in Africa speak French or a dialect thereof. You know, they'll understand your French, but you won't understand their dialect, but they'll understand your French very well. Okay, you're just taken in with all of the stuff. You learned how to cook Asian food maybe, or Caribbean food. So now you're all hugged up thinking about what recipes you're going to do or what business you're going to start. And while you're hugged up in this cocoon of silk, you're protected. So you came from an ugly place that was dark and dismal and it looked like it was nothing. And now here you are, and you're in this place, and it's everything. It's silent, it's clean, it's peaceful. And I gotta tell you, that's the place where you get to hear from God. And all of that hugged up and encapsulated is within his love. And when you're hearing from God in that time, every time you hear from God, you're just more silk wrapped around you. You're just more protective covering around you, protecting what he's telling you, protecting what he's giving you. So if you say, I want to start a business, and in this cocoon time, everything is being laid out. Do you do an LLC or do you do an S Corp? What's your business entity? What's the name of your business? How are you going to write your business plan? If you're going to have business partners, if you're going to do a not-for-profit, who are going to be your directors? What type of not-for-profit are you going to start? If you're going to college, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to be a doctor, but do I want to be a doctor of animals? Do I want to be a doctor of humans? Do I want to do brain surgery? Do I want to be a bone specialist? What is my specialty? Okay, I'm going to school to be a nurse. Do I want to deliver babies? Do I want to work in the ER? These are things that you get to think about when you're in this cocoon and you're encapsulated in the love of God, and he's just speaking to you and downloading stuff and downloading stuff and downloading stuff. And this always happens after that ugly period. It always does. And the reason why is because in the ugly period, you're just like, I'm done. I can't take it no more. And that's when God can step in and say, finally, you have given it over to me and I can take care of it for you. So now you're in this place, and really this cocoon is really kind of nice. It really is. Because, you're getting all the information you need to do what you've asked God to do, or what you feel that you've been born to do. And you're getting all of this information. You're feeling good. And hopefully you have a notebook and you're writing all this stuff down. And it comes a time for you to come out of that cocoon. But don't think about that. While you're in the cocoon, just think about the fact that I'm getting a download. I'm getting the information that I need. I'm getting direction. And sometimes we trivialize what we want to do, how we want to get there, because it's not this big grand thing. Like, you're not trying to cure cancer. So maybe you just want to learn how to grow produce naturally without pesticides. And this is, been a dream of yours. And everybody around you, nobody else is trying to do this. So, to you, it's not a big thing, but it is a big thing because it was given to you. It's your gift. It's your dream, and basically you could change the world with growing, vegetables naturally without pesticides. So if one of you love bugs out there and that's what you want to do, please, we need you to do that. So you're in this cocoon and you're just so safe. And there comes a day when a cocoon becomes way too small because you have grown bigger. And that means that it's time for the dream to come alive. So that cocoon starts cracking because you're too large for your environment. Have you ever felt like you're stifled and there's more for you to do and you just can't do it and you don't understand why? Get out of where you are. Get out. It's too small. And it could be your own head. Get out of your thoughts. Your thoughts are too small. Get out, move. If you're feeling congested in your job, I don't care how long you've been there. I don't want to hear, child, I'm just trying to work 20 years to retire. To do what? Exactly. If you are feeling congested, if it is every day, like, oh God, I gotta go to this job, maybe it is time for you to spread your wings. And that's exactly what that egg that turned to the larvae, which is caterpillar, that was ugly, is happening inside of that cocoon. It is growing, it is changing, it is morphing into something else. And a caterpillar doesn't even have an idea because there's no mirror in front of it. All it knows is that it's changing. Something's going on with my body. I'm turning into something other than what I am. And right now where I am is too small. So as that cocoon starts busting and breaking, and that's what happens to you, you start busting and breaking out of where you are. You start losing friends because you're talking about stuff they can't even imagine. And they're saying, oh, you think you're better than us. No, man, I wish you could come with me. But because your thoughts aren't there, you weren't in the cocoon with me. God didn't download it to you. I got to go. I got to bust out of this shell. And when you finally come out, all of a sudden you've got wings. What do I do with them? And a burst of air comes. And you don't know what to do. And you start flying on your own by yourself. And that's what happens when you're in that cocoon. You get the ability to know you can fly. You can do it. You can open up the restaurant. You can start your not-for-profit. You will do well in school. You will have a wonderful relationship. You and your mother will be able to sit down at a dinner table and have a conversation. Everything that you want to do, you can do once you come out of that cocoon because you have been given the wings to fly. So this is your homework. I need you, if you don't have a notebook, to purchase one. And right now, you just need some paper. You need to write down what stage are you. You could be the egg stage. It's just beginning for you. You could be in the caterpillar stage. It is so ugly. Everything is just horrific for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I just want to drop. And to all of my love bugs, suicide is not an option. If you stop breathing, you don't get to live your dream. And I thank God that the 3 times that I tried to commit suicide, none of them worked. Because in my teens and my early 20s, all I wanted to do was to die because life was so horrible for me. And I didn't know that I was in the caterpillar stage. And sometimes that stage lasts longer than others because for me, it was about another 20 years. But that's because I was kicking against the bricks and would not listen to what God was speaking to me. But suicide is not an option. You will live. You will live to see your dreams come true. I am speaking that into your life right now. You're going to live long enough to come out of that cocoon so you can see your wings expand, that you will glide on air. And let's be real, every time you see a butterfly, what's the first thing you say is, oh, look, a butterfly. And you never really think about what it went through to get to those beautiful colors. So on your journey, my love bugs, it is not going to be easy. But once you become that butterfly, the beauty of you will be seen everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I'm telling you, from experience, from a messed up teenager that couldn't find any relief except for drugs and alcohol, to a single parent in my 20s, a divorcee in my 20s, went through a horrible marriage, went through horrible relationships after that, fighting with my low self-esteem and my lack of confidence. And this was all part of my larvae, caterpillar, ugly stage, and also my cocoon stage. And once I realized that God's love had enveloped me, and I started listening to the words that he was speaking, I allowed him to love me, because that's really hard when you've been hurt, to allow someone that you can't see to love you. You get a chance to learn how to love people that you do see that absolutely hurt you on a regular basis. The life you're living is not for you. The life you're living is for someone else. So make sure you live it out loud, like that beautiful caterpillar. That caterpillar that turned into a beautiful butterfly. That egg that turned into an ugly caterpillar. The ugly caterpillar that went into the cocoon that came out to be the beautiful butterfly. You follow me? So let's get back to this homework. Where are you right now in this stage in your life? I'm not saying why. You need to write down where you are. Then the next thing, you write down, what can I learn from where I am right now? And then, how am I going to be still enough to hear instructions while I'm in my cocoon stage? And when I come out of my cocoon, what am I going to do? So, number one, where am I right now in my life? Number two, what am I learning where I'm at right now? Number three, yeah, this is three, sign language is three. Number three, what am I gonna do when I come out of this cocoon and I'm this beautiful butterfly and I spread my wings? And you say, well, how do you get all this information, Yvonne? Because I'm getting ready to give you my email address. You have a contact to me at Determined Women Destiny. Because you're part of Determined Women of Destiny too. Because you're a determined woman that has a destiny. So Determined Women Destiny at gmail.com. Please, by next Tuesday, send me your homework. And I'll come back and discuss the butterfly effect with all my beautiful butterflies. So until next time, love bugs, flutter away and enjoy your week.